Okay, well, let's bring in the energy company Southern Company, which, of course, continues to reach all-time high levels dating back to when it began trading on the NYSE in 1949. The president, chairman, and CEO is Tom Fanning, and he joins us now. Tom, I don't know how much of the conversation you just heard. I hope you heard quite a lot of it. But let me just ask you, first of all, a very general question to set the stage here. We've been asking all of our CEOs how they feel about the economy, and generally they've been saying we're not in recession, we're kind of on pause. How do you feel about it?
Well, we're lucky to be in the Southeast. The Southeast certainly is not in a recession. If you look at our industrial sales, 2010 over 2009, we were up 7.7%. And for the first 6 months of this year, compared to last year, we're up another about 5%. So industrial sales, I think, are going to lead us back. We have not seen employment follow yet, but I think we see signs there as well.
Tom, the Department of Energy has said that we're going to need, as a nation, about 30% more power production capacity in the next 25 to 30 years, period, or we're going to have blackouts, brownouts, et cetera.
You bet.
So go into our conversation with Jim here, right? And he's still sitting here, by the way. You can't do more coal because it's bad for everybody, right? Nuclear takes 10 years from start to finish if you're lucky enough to get the permits. Natural gas, all the fracking might harm the water. Got 3 solar companies going bankrupt, and wind is too expensive without government subsidies, which nobody's in favor of. Which leads us back to only one thing: whaling. I mean, honestly, where's the stuff going to come from? How are we going to make more power?
Brian, look, I'm on record on this. I gave a major speech in front of the United States Chamber of Commerce. I've testified in front of Congress. It is clear to me that our rational national energy policy should be 2 things. One, we need what we say is all the arrows in the quiver. We need new nuclear, 21st century coal, gas, renewables, energy efficiency. We need them all. The second thing we need is to reinvest in robust proprietary research and development. Southern Company is the only company in our industry today doing just that.
Oh, hey, Tom, this is Herb Greenberg. So let me ask you something. You support Boone's plan?
I support what I just said. Let me tell you, Southern Company is the only company in the United States investing $20 billion in that new portfolio of generation, a new nuclear plant, leading the renaissance in America. It is 10 years, it is $14 billion, but we have the scale, we have the financial integrity, we have the credibility to get it done. Coal. We're building a coal plant in Mississippi, taking care of a native resource, Mississippi lignite, that will be as clean as or better than natural gas. And it is technology we developed here in the United States, and we are licensing it to China. We've beaten them to the punch on that important technology. We're going to do natural gas. We've already started a transition that way. And then I think an important niche play will be renewables.
All right, but Tom, if Boone Pickens succeeds, and you use natural gas for surface vehicles, not just trucks, but cars, would it not dramatically raise the cost of natural gas for you as a big user of natural gas for your power plants?
Jim, there's no question about that. And that's why I've said before, in fact, I've been on your program before, we had a great time talking about gas is not a panacea. We've already transitioned our fleet. We used to produce about 4 years ago 70% of our energy from coal. Well, in the first quarter of 2011, it went down to about 51%, with gas picking up the difference. When you think about this seemingly limitless supply of natural gas through the so-called shale gas, tight gas formations, there's a few things we need to resolve. You guys mentioned before we need to resolve the fracking issue. Secondly, this nation does not have the infrastructure in place today to get the gas from where it is to where it needs to be. And the third thing is, as you rightfully point out, Jim, it will be more volatile than nuclear and coal. And therefore, that is not good for industrial America, not good for American families. We're going to need to resolve that issue and make sure we have other sources to balance out those times when it becomes too volatile.
And on the nuclear question, Tom, are you confident that ultimately you'll get your 2 new nuclear reactors built?
Yeah, it's an imperative for America. You know, when I think about the issues related to Fukushima and all those things, our hearts, our prayers, our offers to help go out to those folks. But we wake up in this industry every day committed to and accountable for safety. And we go to bed at night thinking the same way. We have a terrific track record here in the United States. It currently represents about 20% of our energy supply. We are committed to getting this thing going for the future. It is so important for America.
Tom Fanning, hey, thank you very much for coming on Street Signs. We appreciate it.
You bet. Thank you.
Jim Cramer.